The Home Pros Radio Show.
I'm Tommy Donovan with RIC Home Inspections, and welcome to the Home Pros Radio Show podcast. This podcast represents a condensed version of the Home Pros Radio Show, which airs every Saturday morning across the upstate of South Carolina, western North Carolina, and portions of northeast Georgia. Every week, yours truly and my co-host Shane Hips, owner of Closing Contractor, work together to compile the latest and greatest information that homeowners need in order to help ensure that their home is in the best shape possible. The problem is, once we share all of this good information on the radio, it's gone. And we certainly don't want those of you who are outside of our listening area to miss out. So our solution is this, the Home Pros Radio Show podcast. If you're a homeowner who's looking to learn more about your home, this is the place. If you're a contractor or real estate professional who could take real advantage of important information that'll keep you up to speed on everything happening in our industry, we are your resource. Regardless of who you are, we all currently own or will one day own a home, and we want to equip you with the know-how to make the most of your most prized possession. Best of all, what makes our show special is we make it fun, and as you will soon discover, the Home Pros Radio Show is home improvement like you've never heard it before. Well, enough from me. Let's learn more about the Home Pros Radio Show from me and my co-host Shane Hips, along with a couple of surprise guests who dropped in on the show as we were live on the air.
This is Tommy Donovan here, owner and operator of RIC Home Inspections, along with Shane Hips.
Good morning.
We want to introduce everyone out there to Shane and I, of course. Shane focuses on repairs, and I mainly focus on home inspections. And over the years, we've seen situations where homeowners getting in ruts, or they have issues with repairs that need to be done to a home, or that might have caught them off guard, or keeping them from closing on a home. And we've noticed over the years that a lot of times folks are in this position just because they're either unaware of a lot of the things that they should have been keeping track of in their homes, or they're just they just are aware of them, but they just don't know what to do about them. Isn't that right, Shane?
That's what we encounter all the time. Just people that just don't know what needs to be maintained on a house. Mm-hmm. And, what has gone, what's actually not working properly, that they don't even realize that it's not supposed to be doing whatever it's doing.
Yeah, exactly. Inevitably, you get contractors together or home inspectors together, and they're like, I'll tell you what I saw the other day? This knucklehead had, their evaporator drain line run into their downspout, and the homeowner actually honestly thought they were doing the right thing. So what we want to do is help our listeners learn and become knowledgeable about all the things that we're telling people every day out in the field. I had a home inspection I did yesterday where I got there and it was freezing cold in the house. I think it was last week or the week before, I don't know. At some point I had mentioned I haven't had any houses that I showed up to that had the utilities off, like the heat doesn't work or something like that. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you, folks, it is miserable because no matter how cold it is outside, it's even colder in the house.
Yeah.
It's just, it can be miserable. I've gotten colds. I've gotten sick just from having to get a home inspection done with no heat in the dead of winter. I got into the house and it was cold. I hit the furnace, hit the thermostat, but also the water was off. Mm-hmm. The house I was doing was, I guess it was passed down to the children. So the kids knew nothing about it. No one available knew how to turn the water onto the house. I was like, oh, great. So I spent maybe about an hour and a half trying to figure out how to turn the water, finding the water main. It wasn't at the meter. There was something in between.
Yeah. You gotta love those scavenger hunts.
Yeah, it was a journey. And that's one of the reasons why, folks, it's always important to know those main controls in your home. Where do you turn off your power? Where do you turn off your gas? How do you access your water main? And those are the things that we as home inspectors help you find and help you document. But that's also the idea behind coming up with this show, the Home Pros Radio Show. For those who are just being introduced to Shane and I, Shane owns Closing Contractor. Tell the folks about what you guys do with
we generally do all kinds of things around the house. What our main thing is whenever someone has a home inspection, they call us to come in and fix all the different things that are found. So we always see all kinds of little things that people let go or just don't ever get around to repairing. Mm-hmm. So that's the main thing that we do.
all the work that you guys do pretty much everything, right? And if you don't do it directly, you've got the resources to get it done.
Right. Yeah, we are general contractors as well. So we have connections all around, but we do a lot in-house. We do most everything in-house, but there's certain things that we don't do directly, like roofing. I don't have a roofer on staff. Now, if there's a small patch, I do have a guy that he owned a roofing company in the past. So, I mean, if it's a small repair, but if it's like, say, a whole roof, we wouldn't do it in-house, but I have a roofing company that I work with.
Well, it looks like we already have a call on line one. This is Brad Johnson. And the reason why Brad's calling in is he is a gentleman that I know as you're the president of the South Carolina chapter of the American Society of Home Inspectors. Brad kind of put us together, Shane, because this whole show was a brainchild of my own, where I was like, we've got to create something to help share information with homeowners out there, and Brad, you pointed me in the direction of Shane.
I did. Tommy, when you called me several months ago, I loved the concept, and because I had actually thought about the concept too. This needs to be done. And as soon as you told me about it, Shane Hips came to mind.
Really?
He is out there doing the renovations. He has the expertise in the HVAC, plumbing, electrical, the whole works, not only that and structure. But I saw Shane at a meeting about 2-3 days later, and I told him about, the concept, and I thought he would be great for it. Of course, he looked at me like I was crazy.
Well, that's what I thought at the time.
Yeah.
Which he does that all the time anyway. But anyway, I knew you guys would work together well because, with your experience in home inspections, his experience in contracting, you should be able to solve a lot of problems.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And we appreciate everything that you've done to kind of help put us together. And we also want to help out as spread the awareness of ASHI and what we do as members of an organization that helps keep the standard high for home inspectors.
That is correct.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you again, friend. A lot of times the things that we see as inspectors and you're fixing as a contractor are those items are related to things that homeowners just didn't know about. They weren't aware. Oh, really? It does that? That's how it works?
Right,
sort of thing.
Right. Like the wood rot and all that you never even bother to mention, and all the things in the crawl space where you never go. Mm-hmm. I mean, the homeowner never really goes in the crawl space.
Yeah.
Or I shouldn't say all of them do, but most of the time there's not that much reason to go unless there's unless you notice something changing, but there's a lot of things that happen in crawl spaces that you never notice.
Perfect example. I had a home inspection I did earlier this week. I was talking to the homeowner, or the buyer. She couldn't understand why it was so incredibly hot upstairs, so much warmer upstairs than it was down. And she was concerned that there was something wrong. And I was like, no. What happens is your HVAC system has a damper. One that controls the upstairs, one that controls the downstairs, and the downstairs one is wide open, and the upstairs is wide open, the downstairs is closed, so all your heat is going upstairs. Mm-hmm. And the homeowner was like, that doesn't make any, or the buyer, she didn't understand, she didn't kind of grasp that concept, and she goes, well, why would the current owner have it that way? And I'm like, well, they probably just don't know.
Right.
No one has ever told them. Just like I've said before on the show, you buy a home. It's much different than you buy a car, you get a manual. You get a fridge, you get an owner's manual, right? You get a TV, you get an owner's manual. You buy a home, they're like, here are the keys, have at it. And that's why we came up with the Home Pros Radio Show, to help everyone out there become informed homeowners. Why do many of you listen to talk radio? Is to be informed. Well, we're going to handle the homeownership end of it here, right?
Yes.
But, let's be honest, we all have our knucklehead moments, right?
Oh, yeah, we all do. Including us.
So Shane was just telling me before we went on the air about what an issue you had with backing out of a driveway yesterday.
Well, yeah, I decided to pull forward down a very steep, windy driveway, pulling a trailer. And I was thinking that there was room at the bottom of the hill to turn around. Well, I discovered there wasn't. So as I was trying to push the trailer backwards up a curvy hill, of course, I got off in the mud a little bit and had to pull forward and had to pull back down to the bottom of the hill several times to get started again to build up speed. So I definitely felt like a knucklehead yesterday.
What is it about that? Pulling a trailer, like when I take my family to the lake, the last thing I want to do is launch or pull the boat out of the water when people are standing around.
Oh yeah. If someone's watching, it's that much harder. I mean, as long as I'm sitting there by myself,
because they're sitting there going, "Look at this guy. He has no idea what he's doing.
He is completely lost on this."
But I do the same thing even with even on the job. I'll be like, all right, I got my ladder up against the gutter. I got to go inspect the roof. And I'm like, that looks pretty steep. And it's kind of high. And my first thought is, I'm looking around going, are there any neighbors? Can anybody see what I'm doing? And then I'm like, okay, coast is clear. Go for it.
Yeah, things are always much easier without an audience.
Yeah, exactly. And here we are with an audience, right?
Absolutely.
Well, it looks like we have a call on the hotline. That makes this. Good morning, Home Pros.
Hello, Home Pros. This is Forrest Gump.
Well, good morning, Forrest. Thanks for calling.
I enjoy listening to your weekly home improvement program.
Oh, good. Well, we hope you find it helpful.
Lots of times, Mama gives me a whole long list of projects to do around the house. I don't know what I would do if I didn't get help from all your advice, tips, and tricks.
Oh, well, that's the whole idea for us, is to be an information source to our listeners. We just want to help keep folks from making the same stupid mistakes that other homeowners have made.
Well, stupid is as stupid does.
Well, yeah, that's right. In fact, you coined that phrase, didn't you, Forrest?
Actually, Tommy and Shane, if you got a minute, I'd like to introduce you to my best good friend.
Oh, sure.
Hi, Home Pros. This is Bubba.
Hey, Bubba.
Yeah, the Home Pros have taught me everything I know about the home repair business.
Well, awesome. Glad to hear that.
Especially like a Home Pros radio show podcast.
Hmm?
You can find it on the internet.
Well, that's right. You can.
Yeah. The internet wasn't around when our movie came out.
No, it wasn't.
Now, we can listen to you just about anytime and anywhere.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's iTunes, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Facebook
Bubba, I think
he knows all about this.
LinkedIn on Publish, Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, I think, well, you know what, Bubba? We're kind of short on time, but, you know what? Actually, you know what? Paul, see if you can bring Bubba out. I think he's on a roll here. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate that. Wow. Yeah, I guess, there's many ways to listen to our podcast than there are to cook shrimp.
Bubba knows more about it than I do.
Absolutely. That is impressive. Sorry to cut you off, Bubba, but it looks like he's still on the line. Maybe if he's still around, we can check back with him. But tell me something, Shane. Why the name Closing Contractor?
It's really because we our target market in the beginning is real people in real estate transactions. We do a lot of things for a closing, to try to help people get through the closing. Because you'll have a home inspection, you'll have you guys go out there and write the stuff up and all. And then generally we'll get that list and we can go in and, take care of the whole list.
Yeah.
Cause, like I said, we are general contractors. We're also home builders. I'm a master electrician, master HVAC, lead paint, do it all. We carry a lot of certifications. It's not like we are a home builder doing all these different things. We are actually, like I was an electrician. I was an electrical contractor before I was a home builder. Mm-hmm. And, it's just rolled like that. I mean, it's not like, you, as a home builder, I could technically do a lot of this stuff, but
which is helpful because when home inspectors like me go in and we'll do a report, we're trained to write, licensed plumber needs to do this, licensed roofer needs to do this. And then you actually have the credentials
to actually do
one roof to be able to do all those things.
Correct.
And do them in a timely fashion.
Yeah, that's how we're set up, is to do things
with deadlines.
Yeah, because anytime in a real estate transaction, if they give you a couple of weeks, they're doing good. Things have to happen quick. So we're actually set up to be able to get the pricing out in a timely manner, and then if they approve it, turn around and do the work in a timely manner, because we always have deadlines. Mm-hmm. It happens all the time. It's funny because every time a realtor calls me, I'm like, how quick do you need these pricing back? Mm-hmm. And they're like, yesterday. It's either or yesterday. That's always that. So I'll just start laughing. It's like, okay, I'll get out there just as quick as I can.
Well, how do you work outside of real estate transactions?
We in the beginning we were just gonna do real estate transactions, but then it's like, everything. I like to keep customers. I mean, it only makes sense, once I've built that relationship with that customer to keep that customer. So we do everything it's not only real estate. The name says it's real estate, but we still, any customer that we have or any new customer, anybody that calls us, we're more than willing to look at anything and do any kind of jobs like that. We don't necessarily do all the advertisements and all to the public, but we get the business by word of mouth and by real estate transactions. But I had a customer the other day that asked me, she said, we had just repaired a house that she sold. And then she called us to come to her new house that she had just bought. And she said, Shane, do y'all work for, other people, just homeowners that doesn't have anything to do with real estate? I was like, absolutely. Cause she had a couple of friends that she wanted to refer us to, but they didn't know if we still did stuff outside of the real estate transactions. But absolutely, we do.
Oh, we have another call. Let's see who it is.
Hello, fellas. This is your president, Donald Trump.
Oh, thanks for calling, Mr. President. I'm honored.
I just wanted to call in to let you know how proud I am of you guys. I think the Home Pros radio show is a big deal.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
No, really, I mean it. How often in this country's day and age do you have a situation where a modest business owner spends his own hard-earned time and money to offer up his talent and expertise in an effort to serve the public?
Oh, yeah, well,
that would be me.
Oh, you're talking about yourself.
Really think about it. Both of you have businesses of your own to run and responsibilities to handle. And it took a lot for you to be able to get to this point. You're probably like me, making the most out of that modest $1 million loan that your fathers gave you.
Well, I haven't seen that. Yeah.
There are a lot of Americans that are going to benefit from your show.
Well, that's what we're hoping for.
I've learned a lot from listening to you already.
Really?
As you can imagine, now that I'm a resident of public housing, I've got some honeydews of my own. Not to mention what the previous administration has done to this place. Let me tell you, I inherited a mess. I've got to get going. The phone taps require me to keep my calls brief. I just wanted to let you know how much I appreciate your efforts in helping us make America great again.
I gotta say with Donald Trump. That's awesome.
Oh, and by the way, I do have a request. Could you plan on doing a segment or two on landscape design? I could use some tips on designing this wall I'm planning to build. I'll take your answer off the air.
Definitely hardscape.
Oh, he had to go. He's take my question off the air. You gotta love that. I would think that he'd have, with what's going on in the world today, he'd have more busy things to do.
At least he made time for us.
Yeah, he called the Home Pros. So it's nice to know that we've got the support even from the top guy. It looks like we still have Bubba. He's still on the line. God, hey, Paul, can we check back with on Bubba, see if he's still out there? Looks like he's...
Mozilla, Chrome.
Guys,
oh my God.
He's still
Twitter,
going.
YouTube, Pocket Cast,
all right.
Castbox.
Yeah, that's true.
That's about it.
Oh, okay. Well, Bubba, thanks. I appreciate you filling us in, and thanks for listening. Looks like we're up against a break here, but...
all right, fellas.
Yep, we got to get going. All right. See ya, Bubba and Forrest. Huh, that's great.
That was neat.
I love having a radio show. You never know. You never know who's going to call.
I'm going to have to go watch that movie again.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh, I've seen it many times.
Well, it's our hope that you'll join us many times for the Home Pros Radio Show podcast. We're here for you. So if you have any questions or topics that you'd like for us to cover, let us know. We have the ability to find the answers you need. So visit us online at homeprosradio.com and reach out to us through our Contact Us page. Also, look us up on Facebook and Twitter at Home Pros Radio. It's where you can find us on both. There, you can follow us and keep up with the conversations going on in our online community. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. That way, you'll be among the first to know every time a new episode packed with the information you need is available. It's great to have you part of the Home Pros Radio Show community. I'm Tommy Donovan with RIC Home Inspections. We'll catch you next time on the Home Pros Radio Show podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Home Pros Radio Show. If you have a question for the Home Pros, visit us online at homeprosradio.com, where you can contact us directly and also learn more about the topics and guests we bring to you each week. It's the Home Pros Radio Show online at homeprosradio.com or on the radio at 94.5 WGTK, The Answer.